all internet life insurance leads are not created equal. In this video, I'm going to share with you some truths that aren't really being addressed by a lot of lead vendors, agencies and IMOs, and even course creators out there about web-based internet life insurance leads. Now, this is going to be a video catered towards final expense, but everything that I talk about applies to term life insurance as well, okay? So I'm going to talk through that. Then I'm going to show you some data behind what we're doing at Digital BGA that no one else is doing, resulting in some of the best leads available for final expense. If you're at Digital BGA, you know all about this. So the majority of social media believes that Facebook leads are the answer. You hear it talked about everywhere because you can generate leads for $2 to $4 a piece, exclusive, real time, and in bulk, right? So lots of people talking about it. At the surface, this seems super sexy, guys, right? I mean, who wouldn't want a lead that cheap, that's exclusive in real time? But when it comes down to how it affects your business and profitability, the reality is it's a major turnoff for most agents once they start working them, because contact rates and intent levels are low. And they're low because of how the lead is generated. It's using pre-filled data via Facebook lead ads. So they, a consumer or senior clicks on an ad, and then their information pulls from Facebook and pre-fills the form out for them. So they don't have to type anything in. All they got to do is click the ad and then click the submit button. And in 5 to 10 seconds, they're on their way to keep scrolling through cat videos or whatever. So a lot of times when you're working those leads, they'll say, I don't remember filling anything out. And I believe them. They don't remember filling it out because it was a blip in their session on social media that day that they probably don't remember doing. So, you have that sort of reaction from those types of leads. Now, these leads do work, and they work for agencies who do a ton of activity. And that's what you're not being told out there. So if you see this on YouTube or on any sort of Facebook groups or being promoted anywhere on how successful agents are doing, writing 3-4 apps a day, look, I believe it, but they're doing something different than most independent agents are doing. So let me talk through that just real quick so you understand what's going on. So a lot of call centers are making these Facebook lead ads work because they use pool-based dialing, meaning leads are in a pool and agents, there's a group of agents calling on the same leads. They're not assigned leads. They're calling on leads that are, that the first lead to be called is going to be a new lead that pops in. So any new lead that pops in, it's going to get a call within a minute or two because you have a group of agents calling on these leads. So new leads are prioritized and called immediately if you're pool-based dialing. And so, yes, it will work in that instance because you're calling early and often. You also have agencies that are doing well. And I know a lot of agencies doing well doing this, but what they're not telling you is they're recycling leads, meaning and they're going to assign it to an agent's going to call it for a few days, and then they're going to assign it to another agent. That agent's going to call it for a little while, then they're going to assign it to another agent. So over time, you're likely getting 40, 50 plus calls on one of these leads to get in contact. Now, most agents aren't making that amount of effort or that amount of dials on a lead. So you really have to be a prolific dialer in order to make these Facebook lead ads work. And they'll work, but you've got to call early and often. The thing is, most agents don't have the stamina, they don't have the patience, and they don't have the runway to make that work. So you need to be able to put at least 200 to 300 dials in a day to make these Facebook lead ads work. And you'll to have enough presentations to make the amount of sales you need to do, okay? The thing is, like I said, most agents can't make these calls quick enough and can't attempt them at least 10 times in the first 4 days and then continue to call them as well. So that's why most independent agents need a better, more profitable lead to work because we have what we call return on time. So let's talk through that. Let me talk first about how we can make leads better. Many agents are using a calendar link. So after a Facebook lead ad is filled out, they'll put a calendar link on there, which will, allow the senior or the prospect to schedule time in your calendar. That's great and all. It's a good step forward. You're giving them something else to do. However, way less than half will actually fill out the calendar link. And if they do fill out the calendar link, much less than half will show. Okay, so you're still making a lot of dials there. And it's not really an integrated system as well. And it's, a lot of agents aren't doing so well on that because they're using those $2 to $4, ad copy. It's super general, and they're sending it to their Calendly link, and they're working those, but not many are showing up. It gets a little frustrating because now you got to dial and work your appointments when half don't show up. It's tough, right? But there are some outliers though. In any case, there's always outliers of agencies that make these processes better. I want to talk about one because maybe it can influence you to make something else better. So we have a partner agency that are putting up massive numbers with this approach. 1/3 of their agents are writing over 20 grand a month with this approach I'm about to tell you about. But they take it further than just a calendar link. They personalize every single ad with your name and your photo, okay? So your face is on every ad. It's on every, and your name and everything, your position as the expert and all the text follow-ups and emails and everything that's automatically going out. You are branded as the expert. Instead of generating cheaper, low-quality $2 to $4 leads, they're generating leads in the $8 range. But it's branded and personalized, and you're positioned as the expert, and around half, a little bit more than half, are scheduling calls, and they are also keeping them at about a 50% show rate as well, better than the $2 to $4 leads, right? Because you're being branded as the expert. It's completely different. The thing is, for this, it takes a lot of setup. It took a lot of trial and error, and it takes a lot of ongoing optimization every single day on your Facebook ad campaign when it's personalized like this, okay? So in order to do this successfully, you have to have all those, and a lot of agents aren't able to have the runway to figure that out. So this is an example of an agency that has built a secret sauce around calendar appointments. Now, I'll say this, if you're interested in working with that agency, it's not working direct with Digital BGA, you would need to be under their hierarchy. They are taking a few more agents right now. Just email onboarding@digitalbga.com and they'll get you more information about that agency. There is a startup fee to set everything up, but all your contracts will need to be with that agency. Okay, so you have calendar appointments. That's like the mini step forward unless you take it further like this agency does, right? Then you have, agents that are sending their Facebook traffic to landing pages and on their own website. So these are much higher quality leads because they're introduced to your brand and they have to manually fill out the information. It's not pre-populated in like a Facebook lead ad is. So they're typing that information in. They're going through the process of doing that. Again, there's much more intent in doing it this way. So after they type in the information, they're going to see instant quotes as well. So they're going through an experience. Your contact rates will be almost double with these leads. And the intent is going to be much higher with these leads as well. The price per lead is also going to be double, but you have to think about your return on time. Is it worth making $200-300 dials, or is it worth making, $100 dials or so on these leads and having a much higher intent? Something to think about. So there's a lot of agents that do this at Digital BGA. They generate their own Facebook leads. So they run their own ads on Facebook. They send it to a wpinsurance.org website, which we've talked about on this before. It's the same website that we run all of our traffic through, which I'm going to talk about in just a second here. And a few of them are staples on our leaderboards, writing 20 grand plus per month. But you have to understand Facebook leads. And when I say Facebook, you have to understand how to advertise for final expense on Facebook. So one thing I want to say about advertising on Facebook and why Digital BGA doesn't do any Facebook advertising when it comes to lead gen is the way that Facebook works is that when you click on an ad, they're going to show you more of that ad. So if you click on an ad, you get a lead or you make a sale, you gain a client, that person, the way Facebook works, that person's going to keep seeing final expense ads. So you better have built a ton of rapport. You better feel comfortable with that sale, and you better have a decent priced product as well, because if they feel like that they're not, if they're paying too much, they'll shop it around with these other ads that they're seeing. They're going to continue seeing these ads. So, it's going to hurt your persistency a little, because there will be a portion of your leads that will fill out other forms and talk to other agents, and you may get replaced. It's just part of working Facebook leads, okay? Because it's saturated. That's the reason why. And once you understand that, you'll understand why Digital BGA, we don't run any Facebook ads for our internet leads because we're focused more on sales than on lead cost, okay? So here's how we generate our leads. It's a mixture of TV ads where they don't call in, they do some research on the brand, they come to our website, and they fill out a form instead. They want to check us out first. So there's that. That's part of the baseline of leads. Another part of the baseline of leads is SEO leads. These are search engine generated leads. We're not paying for the ads on top of Google. We are ranking in the search engines with websites, with content, people searching for final expense life insurance, okay? So that's the baseline of leads that we have. And then on top of that, we look at the demand we have every day and we fill it in with our media networks. And this is our paid advertising that we do. So our media networks is basically we're running advertisements on websites and videos through media networks that we've been working with since 2016 when we first got into the business, and we were primarily a term life insurance shop generating a ton of those leads, okay? So the process looks like this. Someone completes a form on a website. That's the lead data that comes in and is sent to you, okay? And here's where it gets interesting. They're shown a series of health questions. They answer yes, then we know it's a guaranteed issue lead. If they answer no, then we know it's most likely a level lead. So if it's a guaranteed issue lead, they're going to see guaranteed issue rates on the next screen. If they answer no, they're going to see level rates on the next screen. And we're not going to show any price buster rates, right? Because we want to make sure that you don't get in a situation where, hey, I saw $100 a month for this $20,000 policy and you're quoting me $150 a month. So we're quoting middle of the road carriers and showing them those rates. Guys, this is an experience that we've built for seniors. They will remember this. They're engaged, they're answering questions, and they're seeing rates with multiple carriers. They're not just clicking on a link, with a pre-filled form and then moving on. They're putting in some time and effort into this. For the vast majority, they'll remember doing this when you call them. They will remember, okay? Even if rates were too expensive, we get this, objection from agents about our leads. Even that, they may say, hey, is it kind of shooting ourselves in the foot if we show them rates if we can't honor that rate because they may have a health condition? Or maybe they saw rates and it was too expensive. Guys, that is a much easier objection to overcome than I didn't fill anything out or I don't remember doing anything like that. Okay, because if they're saying that it's too expensive, that the rates they saw online were too expensive, they've just admitted that they want coverage. But the price was the issue. And that's easy to overcome in final expense. We should all be able to overcome that, lower the face amount, or really we just need to build the emotion and get them to pay, right? So we just need to go through and build our rapport and extract that emotion from them and get them to buy. So with that said, the kicker here on why our leads are so much better at Digital BGA is your leads can apply online, okay? They can choose a quote and they enter their full address to apply for that coverage. That's what we call an app request, but we take it even further. We let them complete the entire application, the carrier-specific application online, everything except payment information. You got beneficiary information, you got the carrier-specific health question. All that gets submitted of what we call an app submit, an application submitted. Somebody who went all the way through the process. All that information is posted to our CRM. Everything, health questions, beneficiaries, all of that. So our leads fall into 3 buckets: quote request, and app submit. We group them all into a single cost per lead. Everyone has the same chance of getting all of those. So you're probably thinking, how many seniors actually select a quote and request an application, right? And how many actually fill out the complete application? It can't be that many. Well, you're going to be surprised here. Here's the data of our last 3,000 plus leads generated. 21% at least selected a quote and requested an application by filling out their address. 6.3% went all the way through the application process. Pretty crazy, right? So we send all that extra data on the lead as well, like I just mentioned. This is a no-brainer to do. You're creating an experience that your leads will remember, and the intent is higher. Also, it's worth noting, this process, it's a widget that Digital BGA created that we're sending all of our traffic through. So if you're generating your own leads and you're generating at least 10 leads a day, we'll give you the same quoting widget, the same lead capture form that we're using, where you have the same access to the data that I'm just showing you. and you can just swap out your forms. We can increase your business just by swapping out forms if you're generating your own leads on a website. I'm not sure that applies to many out there watching, but just know that's available if you're with Digital BG8. Okay, so the remaining 79% of leads here are quote requests. They're what other agents are used to working, just that same information. But with those, our CRM automatically emails a beautiful pre-qualification form that addresses your lead by their name and asks in-depth questions about their height, their weight, their health conditions, and medications, right? Again, adding to the overall experience. Their name is on this form. This form was made specifically for them, okay? And this happens automatically in our CRM. 10% of your leads will complete this pre-qualification form that receive it. So this is factoring out bogus leads. When we look at the delivery rate of emails compared to the pre-qualification form submits, it hovers around 10%. That's big, guys. You'll get an email notification in your CRM when they do fill out the pre-qualification form, and that is the hottest lead you can get. I would take that lead over an app submit any day of the week because they filled out, their medications, all that, a lot more information than what's on the app submit form than going through the process, because they went through the process and they went to their email and then they proceeded even further. They're taking further steps after getting off of the website, which is an incredible lead. And it's something every agent should be doing if you're working internet leads, sending the pre-qualification form, even if it's just a generic one. We have it catered toward, calling out their specific name for that specific process. And it works better that way. We get more completions that way, but you'll still get completions if you put a generic, even a Google form in there. That still works, guys, okay? And we're not even talking about the text messages and the, replies and the inbound calls that we get from our emails and texts that go out as well, okay? As you can see, we're a little bit different. We have this lead dialed in. The purpose of this video was to show you that not all web-generated life insurance leads are created equal. The marketing source matters. Is it saturated? If it is, sales rate and persistency will be lower. How you collect contact information matters. Is it pre-filled? Or is it a branded experience? If it's pre-filled, the intent and contact rate will be lower. Number 3, what happens after you collect that contact information matters. Is there any type of experience to remember you from? Are you giving the hottest prospects the opportunity to go further? If you're not, you're missing out and aren't as efficient as you should be. I'd even make the case that those hot prospects that would fill out the app submit, that weren't given the opportunity to, that went to your funnel that doesn't do that, would go to another lead form until they got what they wanted. So, number 4, are you delivering a personal experience via email or text message? Are you even sending out a pre-qualification form? Guys, with us, you're doing this automatically in our system, and we're optimizing the whole experience for you. Remember, when you buy from a third-party lead vendor, this is really important to understand, because a lot of you out there are buying from third-party lead vendors. Your goals are misaligned. They're interested in making a profit per lead at your expense. You're interested in making more sales, a better ROI. But how can a lead vendor connect sales data? They can't. It's totally fragmented. It's what's wrong with the lead generation business. It's what's wrong with internet leads. You have to have somebody in your corner optimizing, able to see the sales data in order to make decisions based on that, okay? The edge that Digital BGA has is that we see the sales data on all leads we generate and constantly, every day, optimize scaling the winners and cutting the losers. I hope you can see the power in that. And I hope you can see that web-generated life insurance leads are not created equal. You can do it better. You can have a better lead paying around the same cost, okay? If you have any questions, comments, opinions, opposing views, your experience, guys, please share your experience. We've had some great discourse, great conversations in the comments section of YouTube recently, even a lot of criticism, and I love it, guys. Just bring it. Whatever you have, let's create a community out there. We're going to keep bringing you this information as long as there's engagement happening out here. And until the next video.